I'd rather just do it.
Okay, so I will.
Great. Thank you. It's very light. Good evening. Yes. I know it's a little sticky in here, and we have the nice sound of the fans that are trying to circulate the air in here. Please, I brought my talus and I decided not to wear it. It's too hot. So please bear with us. And if you can't hear anything, just go like this and I'll see it.
I'll move closer.
Or you can move closer where it's cooler. How good it is and how pleasant it is for all of us to be here this evening and to be able to dwell together under this chuppah in the chapel. I'm using this one. So please turn to page 10 as we sing along with Lee and Laura, Hine Matov.
Hine matov u'manai
turn back to page 2 and stand for the candle lighting, I would like to ask Erlene and her sister-in-law and granddaughter, right, to come up and light the candles. Addison? Addison. Welcome. You may be seated. Thank you very much, Patty. We enter this sanctuary to welcome Shabbat. Within these walls, we sit surrounded by numberless generations. Our ancestors built the synagogue as a visible sign of God's presence in their midst. Throughout our long history and our endless wanderings, it has endured, a beacon of truth, love, and justice for all humanity. Its presence guided our ancestors to lives of righteousness, holding up to them a vision of their truest selves. Now, we, in our turn, come into this sanctuary to affirm the sacredness of our lives. May we enter this place in peace. May holiness wrap around us as we cross its threshold. Weariness, doubt, and flaws within our human hearts, the harshness of the weak, let these drop away at the door. In the brightness of Shabbat, let peace settle upon us as we lift our hearts in prayer. Page 20 and 21, we will be joining Lee and Laura in Lecha Dodi. We will be singing the 1st, 2nd, 5th, and 9th verse. be seated, but in like 2 minutes, you'll be standing up again. So just stay standing. We're on page 27. Teach me, O God, a blessing, a prayer on the mystery of a withered leaf, on ripened fruit so fair, on the freedom to see, to sense, to breathe, to know, to hope, to despair. Teach my lips a blessing, a hymn of praise, as each morning and night you renew your days, lest my day be today as the one before, lest routine set my ways. If you turn the page for the Borchu. Please turn the page. This is an hour of change. Within it we stand uncertain on the border of lights. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim. Turn the page. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol. All these things your Torah gives to us. And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What shall be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works and the living language that gives it form? Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Shema.
Adonai and do all of my commandments, and be holy unto your God, unto your God.
Page 39. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before we ever stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, and that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together as we did through the Red Sea. Mi chamocha. Page 43. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukkot shalom, Aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. As we pass through one piece of our service to the next, we are ready to go into the throne room of God and praise his being with all the other beings around him. So please rise for the tefillah. We start on 46. We'll go to 48, 50, and 52. Adonai, Sefatai Tiftach, Uvi Yagid, Tilatecha, Adonai, Sefatai Tiftach, Uvi Yagid, Tehilatecha, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Ve'konei Hakol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, U'mevi Gula Lifnei V'neihem, Leman Shemaho Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham Bezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mehayeh HaKol Atarav Lehoshia, Morid tal. Mechakel hayim bechesed, mechaye hakol berachamim rabim, somech noflim berofech olim, umatir asurim, umekayim emunato lishenei afar, michamocha ba'gevurot, umidam elach, melech mimit umachaye, umatzmiach Yeshua, v'ne'eman ata l'hayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, mechaye hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, ikdoshim b'chol yom yechalu chasela. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. You may be seated. We will now have some time to either read through the additional readings or what comes into your heart.
Ever-present one, may we, your people Israel, be worthy in our deeds and our prayer. Ever-present one, may we, your people Israel, be worthy in our deeds and our prayer. Wherever we live, wherever we seek you, in this land in Zion, restored in all lands, you are God whom alone we serve. In reverence, Mitzvah Adonai Eloheinu, be'amcha Yisrael. Utefilata be'ahava tekabel. Ritzei
There are so many wishes we wish on people. We wish them love, we wish them a good life, but also we wish people health. If there are any people, anyone of your loved ones or friends who needs that little extra oomph to raise his or her voice into heaven so that God can hear it, please let me know.
Rose Hall, Valerie Martin, Helen Clem.
Mary Louise Rosenbush. Sophie Clem. Joanne Sally.
Isabel Taylor.
And we add to these names Daniel Bernard Rosen, Jackie Spear, Carol Malloy, Diane Harris Klein, and Lisa Ann Rainey Waldock. We now, if you want the words to the healings, the Misha Bera, who it is on page 253, but we are singing another one, the other one. So. So I don't know if you guys are steady readers of the emails that we get from Temple Mount Sinai. I don't know. Can you hear it better? If you are the readers of the emails that are sent out. But the rabbi was sort of in a flurry before he went on his sabbatical. He went away to Israel and Poland and then to camp, and he needed people to sign up. And we have a bunch of really amazing people who volunteered themselves to come and speak to us. One of whom is a student of mine from a very long time ago, very, very long time ago, And after he was a student of mine, he became my madrich, one of my TAs. Known him all of his life. I'd like to ask Ben to come up and teach us. Use that one.
Hello, Shabbat Shalom, better? Okay. All right. But why, some say, the moon? Why choose this as our goal? And they may well ask, why climb the highest mountain? Why, 35 years ago, fly the Atlantic? Why does Rice play Texas? We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills, because that challenge is one that we are willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone, and one which we intend to win, and the others too. When Rabbi Zeidman texted me asking if I would speak tonight, I told him yes in about 3 minutes. He asked me to speak about a quote, or a bit of text that I found personally meaningful. And to be entirely honest, I had no idea what I was going to talk about, and so I went looking. I found powerful quotes from people all around the globe and from every religious denomination, from Oprah to Aristotle. People have been inspiring those around them with incredible quotes and phrases for thousands of years. But for whatever reason, none of these really resonated with me the same way as the passage I just read. President John F. Kennedy spoke those words in an address he made to the students of Rice University in 1961. And 8 years later, on July 20th, 1969, Neil Armstrong took those first steps on that big rock in the sky, almost 240,000 miles away. I just could not help but be reminded of Judaism when I heard him speak. His words reminded me of some of our great Jewish heroes, the story of Esther saving the Jewish people, or the Maccabees' revolt against the Seleucid Empire. I had to look that one up. And to be quite frank, Rice versus Texas is a little bit of a modern-day David versus Goliath. I think this is the main reason that quote resonated so deeply with me. It reminds me of the indomitable nature of our people. We do things not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Now, I know that we are in Bamidbar right now, and I'm supposed to talk about zealotry and the census and other clerical issues, but this idea of never giving up, of doing the impossible, and refusing to take no for an answer has always reminded me of one of my favorite stories from the Torah. And because of that, we're going to leave Numbers, and we're going to take a little trip back to Genesis. So Jacob sent his wives, servants, and children across a ford in the Yabbok River, where he was left alone and where he wrestled with a man until the break of day. Then he said, "Let me go, for the day has broken." But Jacob said, "I will not let you go unless you bless me." And he said to him, "What is your name?" And he said, "Jacob." Then he said, "Your name shall no longer be called Jacob, but Israel, for you have striven with God and with men and have prevailed." Now this name Israel, the name of our peoples and our land, has come to mean something different to every one of us. But I've always loved the direct translation of the name, he who contends with God. By being a member of the Jewish people, the people of Israel, it is our duty to challenge God. And if God is responsible for everything that happens to us and to those around us, is it not our duty to challenge those injustices we see every day? To challenge ourselves to be the best version of ourselves that we can possibly be. Being Jewish is not easy. We cannot sit idly by when we see inequities, when we see oppression and pain. In our modern world, people suffer from anti-Semitism and stereotypes every day. Our most important values of mitzvot are not mere suggestions. They are commandments. We are commanded to be the best we can be, commanded to help those around us, and to practice tikkun olam. Being Jewish is not easy. but we do these things not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Thank you. Shabbat shalom. Thank you.
Thank you, Ben, for that insightful lesson. It is the first Friday of the month. So do we have birthdays and anniversaries in July to celebrate? And if you do, please stand. Just stay where you are. Because there's nothing to partake right now. Name and what are you celebrating? So stay standing. Makor Chayim, source of life, we thank you for the blessing of life and for everything that enriches our lives. We turn to you now in gratitude as we all share in the happiness of these special people celebrating this month. God, be with them now and always. May they be blessed with health and happiness, with the strength to overcome any and all of life's challenges. And for all of you, Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmarecha. May God bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka. May the light of God's presence smile upon you and be gracious unto you. Isa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May you always know that God is near, and may you know a lifetime of peace. Baruch atah Adonai mivarech hashanim. We praise you, God, who blesses the years. Happy birthdays. Let's turn to page 5. Please rise for the Kiddush. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotov, v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho, b'ahava uvratzon hinhilanu, zikaron l'maaseh v'reshit, ki hu yom tehila l'mikra'e kodesh, zecher l'tziat mitzrayim, ki vanu v'charta v'yotanu kidasha mikol hamim, v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinhaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat. It's real stuff. It's usually grape juice. Ooh, okay. Please remain standing. Turn to page 282 for Aleinu. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, La Tate Gidula Liotse Reshit Shelo Asanu Kigoye Haratzot Velo Samanu Kimishpachat Hadama Shelo Sam Elkenu Kachem Vegor Aleinu Kechol Hamonam Banagnu Korim Umishtachavim Umudim Lifnei Melech Mochei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch V'ne'emar V'haya Adonai L'melech al kol haaretz Hayom hahu Yihye Adonai echad U'shemo echad. You may be seated. I'm on page 290. It is a fearful thing to love what death can touch. A fearful thing to love, hope, dream, to be, and oh, to lose. A thing for fools this, and a holy thing to love. For your life has lived in me, your laugh once lifted me, your word was gift to me. To remember this brings a painful joy. 'Tis a human thing, love, a holy thing, to love what death has touched. Our hearts now turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those who are our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of loss and love, of life and death. And if you have a loved one and are comfortable enough to rise when you hear their name, please do. We remember Ronald Weidgarden for the 30 days, the Shloshim. We also remember Norman Alper, Yetta B. Amstetter, May Axelrod, Rose Helen Barnett, Morris Bilski, Sadie Kalischer, Aaron Dembovicius, Nicholas Freirich, Samuel L. Goodman, Daniel Hale Gray, Minnie Greenberg, Johnny Ray Guillen, Eric Holst, William Jacobs, Bertha Jaffe, Kenneth Kahn, Henry Kellen, Archie Kinberg, Betty Gordon Colhagen, Irma Krakauer, Rebecca Goldstein Krupp, Jack Late, Herbert Lacomer, Lois Lacomer, Jacob W. Levy, Isidore Lipstadt, Samuel Lutner, Latif Marcus, Philip Marcus, Max Millman, Leroy Miner, Alice Ruth Morgan, Margaret Navarez, Sarah Prensky, Molly Rosen, Jane Rosen, Harry Rosenberg, Molly Schreier, Jean Berg Schwartz, Gerald Raymond Schechter, Charlie Tenon, Sarah Weiss, Irving Walensky, Joseph Zellman. Please, everyone else, rise and help surround these people with our love as we say Kaddish on 294. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah B'yalma devrach Yeruteh v'yamlich machuteh B'chayechon v'yamechon v'chayei dekol Beit Yisrael Ba'agala uvizman kari v'imru Amen. Yehei Shemei Rabbah mevarach le'olam ul'olmei almaya Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitale v'yitalal shemei dekudashet b'richu. Le'ela min kol birachata v'shirata. Tush b'chata v'nechemata. Da'amiram b'yama v'imru. Amen. Yehe shlama rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu v'akol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mrumav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'akol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel, to which we say Amen.
Oseh shalom b'mrumav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'akol Yisrael v'imru amen. Ya'aseh shalom shalom aleinu ve'akol Yisrael Ya'aseh shalom shalom aleinu ve'akol Yisrael Ya'aseh shalom shalom aleinu ve'akol Yisrael Ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'akol Yisrael Ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'akol Yisrael.
You may be seated. I'd like to ask Scott to come up for announcements.
Shabbat shalom. I'd like to thank Naomi as greeter. She always has such a pleasant smile as we come in. I would like to thank Darius, Lee, and Laura for musical accompaniment. It's beautiful every time. Thank you. And Alan for stepping up and stepping in once again. Thank you. Very good. And I'm proud to be on Medina with our President-elect, Irving Gordon, and past President Marshall Ball. Thank you. Thank you to our Shabbat sponsors, Ernie and Rita Gluck in memory of Johnny Gillian, Patricia Swade in memory of Betty Gordon Colhagen, Mimi Gladstein in memory of Henry Cowan, Michelle Pennon in memory of Charlie Pennon, Campbellwood's family and Mila Holst in memory of Eric Holst. Once again, if there's any of the Jewish food sale that you're interested in, please contact the admin office. We have new, forgive me, I butcher this word every time, new Shidduchot prayer books and plaque dedication. If you would like to place a plaque in one of these new books, please contact the admin office. We also have coming up People of the Crossing, the Jews of El Paso, world premiere July 23rd, 1 p.m. Plaza Classic Film Festival. Please see the email for details about purchasing tickets. We have an upcoming ADL event, Anti-Defamation League event, Understanding the Roots and Impact of Extremism, July 31st, 6 through 8 p.m., El Paso Community Foundation. Please see the weekly email for information about registration. The Society for Crypto-Judaic Studies is holding its 33rd annual conference in El Paso, August 13th through the 15th.
Please turn to page 365. And before we do our closing song, Kiddush will be in Zalanka Hall where it's cooler. And join us if you can for Soul Shabbat tomorrow. 9:30 is study, and Soul Shabbat will be at 10:30. Please rise.
Not by might and not by power, by Spirit alone, shall we all live in peace. Not by might and not by power, by Spirit alone, shall we all live in peace. The children sing, the children dream, and their tears may fall, you can hear them call, and another song will rise, another song will rise, another song will rise. Not by might and not by power, by Spirit alone, shall we all live in peace. Not by might, not by power. Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. See you in Zalanka.
Thank you.
Does it tell you when you've